Pilosopo Tasyo, or Don Anastasio, is a compelling and symbolic character in José Rizal's Noli me Tangere. He embodies the enlightened Filipino intellectual, an individual who, despite his wisdom and foresight, is misunderstood and marginalized. He is oppressed during the Spanish colonial era. His life story is a poignant reflection of the struggles faced by educated Filipinos. They dared to think, question, and challenge the status quo, yet found themselves ostracized by society and the oppressive colonial system. Once wealthy, Don Anastasio's journey into knowledge was marked by personal sacrifice and tragedy. Born into affluence, he was immersed in the study of philosophy at the Colegio de San Jose. However, his mother, deeply conservative and religious, believed too much education could lead him astray from his faith. Fearing that his intellectual pursuits might erode his spiritual devotion, she forced him to abandon his studies. This act of maternal control, rooted in fear, would set the stage for his later tragic trajectory. Despite the setback, Don Anastasio's thirst for knowledge remained unquenched. Following his mother's death, he married, seeking solace in personal companionship. Unfortunately, his wife passed away only a year into their marriage, plunging him into profound grief. The loss devastated him, and he turned inward, dedicating himself entirely to reading and studying. His hunger for understanding grew insatiable, and he delved into books on philosophy, history, and science, seeking answers to life's greatest questions. In his pursuit of knowledge, he sacrificed his wealth and social standing, eventually becoming impoverished. His descent from wealth was not merely a personal loss, but a symbolic sacrifice of material possessions in favor of spiritual and intellectual enlightenment. His eccentric behavior and unconventional ideas earned him the nickname Tasyo the lunatic among the uneducated townspeople. To them, his talking to himself, his unkempt appearance, and his disdain for superstitions marked him as crazy. Yet within the learned circles, such as among Don Filipo and other educated elites, Tasyo was regarded as a wise sage, a Pilosopo who possessed insights beyond the ordinary. His character embodies the dichotomy of the Filipino intellectual, misunderstood by society at large, but revered by those who recognize the depth of his wisdom. Tasyo's role as the oppressed intellectual is central to his significance in the novel. He acts as a voice of reason amid the chaos of colonial rule, often warning others about the dangers of blindly following the corrupt authorities or the superstitions propagated by the friars. His disdain for religious dogma and colonial injustice positions him as a critic of the colonial system. Yet he remains cautious, understanding that openly challenging the authorities could lead to persecution. His pessimism about the prospects for immediate change reflects a harsh realism. He recognizes that the Philippines, at his time, is not yet ready for revolution or independence. Nevertheless, he believes in the importance of education, enlightenment, and the gradual awakening of national consciousness. Tasyo's interactions with other characters further illustrate his role as the wise counselor, who often offers advice laced with caution and foresight. For instance, he advises Crisostomo Ibarra, warning him about the dangers of fighting the oppressive system without adequate preparation. His warnings stem from a deep understanding of the social and political realities of the Philippines, born from his extensive reading and reflection. Despite his insights, his ideas are often dismissed or ignored, reinforcing his marginalization. As a symbol, Pilosopo Tasyo represents the learned Filipinos, those who, after experiencing colonial abuses firsthand, become disillusioned with the system. Their education and awareness make them targets of suspicion, ridicule, or persecution. Tasyo's disdain for the superstitions and dogmas of the friars underscores his rejection of colonial religious control and his desire for genuine enlightenment. His character encapsulates the hopes and frustrations of Filipino intellectuals, who, despite their knowledge, struggle to effect change in a society ruled by fear and repression. Tasio's death is a somber reflection of his life's sacrifices. He dies in poverty, alone, and misunderstood by the majority of the townspeople, who continue to see him as a lunatic rather than a sage. Before his passing, he leaves behind a legacy of knowledge, sometimes in coded writings, anticipating that his ideas would only be understood by future generations. This act of leaving behind encrypted messages symbolizes the hope that his insights would inspire an awakening. In the future Filipino Revolution, Rizal's inspiration for Pilosopo Tasyo was partly drawn from his own elder brother, Paciano Mercado, a mentor and revolutionary thinker who influenced Rizal's own ideas about reform and independence. Paciano's revolutionary ideals and his role as a guide to Rizal echo in Tasio's character, a wise elder who foresees the future and hopes for a better Philippines, even if the present resists change. Please like, share, and subscribe. In sum, Pilosopo Tasyo is more than a character in a novel. He is a symbol of the Filipino intellectual spirit, courageous, insightful, and often misunderstood. His life story is a testament to the sacrifices made by those who dared to think differently during a time of oppression. His voice, though silenced in life, continues to resonate as a call for enlightenment and national awakening. Through him, Rizal reminds us of the importance of knowledge, critical thinking, and perseverance in the pursuit of justice and freedom. Tasio's legacy endures as a beacon for future generations to value education, question authority, and dream of a better Philippines, beyond the shadows of colonial tyranny.